Broncos are trading Randy Gregory to the 49ers. We're going to break down all the details, plus we're going to look at the final injury report going into the Sean Payton Nathaniel Hackett Bowl on today's home edition of the Broncos Breakdown. Sorry, I'm getting this video out a little bit late. I was actually getting a haircut, if you couldn't tell, when the trade went down. But let's talk about the trade. So the Broncos are sending Gregory and a 2024 7th-round draft pick to the 49ers for a 2024 6th-round pick. So essentially, Denver is trading Randy Gregory away just to move up from the 7th to the 6th round of next year's draft. Now, as for the compensation, like monetary-wise, the Broncos are paying basically the rest of Randy Gregory's contract. So Denver pays out the remaining $10-ish million on Gregory's deal. Remember, 5-year, $70 million contract, but only $28 million was guaranteed. So I looked at it as a 3-year, $28 million, in which Denver is moving on halfway through those 3 years and 10 games and 3 sacks worth of that year and a half of Randy Gregory. But they do pay the rest of the contract, so it basically went down, I could guess, like this. The Broncos said, we're going to release Randy Gregory unless we can find a trade partner. No team wanted to trade for Randy Gregory, taking on his current contract. So the Broncos had to pay pretty much the rest of his contract just to find a team to give him a 6th-round draft pick. Just kind of think about that for a moment here. Imagine spending $28 million of your boss's money, and you made such a bad decision that just 18 months later, you want to trade that guy away just to move up from the last round of the draft to the second last round of the draft, and you still pay out the rest of his contract. Like, that's how big of a failure the Randy Gregory signing was. It'll probably go down as one of the biggest free agent signing busts in Broncos history. Of course, contracts now are bigger than what they used to be, but still, 10 games, 3 sacks. It was not a good free agent signing by George Paton. And the only silver lining to the Randy Gregory free agency bust of a signing is the ultimate, thing that facilitated or maybe cleared the way for this trade to go through was George Paton had some 2 good draft picks rising the ranks in Jonathan Cooper and Nik Bonitto, who were outplaying Gregory, and Sean Payton was not going to put Randy Gregory on the field more than those 2 guys just because he was getting paid more. So the only thing that kind of covers Payton's derriere is he nailed what appears to be 2 really good picks as of this year of Jonathan Cooper and Nik Bonitto, who have 3 sacks and 3.5 sacks. So I guess that is the only silver lining for George Paton is, sure, I kind of bombed that one free agent signing, but I did hit these other 2 draft picks in the 2nd and the 7th round. So ultimately, this fiasco, you could call it, comes to an end, and Randy Gregory gets a fresh start with the 49ers, who are a really good coached, well-coached team. You know, Shanahan's got those boys playing well, of course, and they've got a really good defense, and he'll be in a good rotation there. And if you're the Niners, how can you not be upbeat about this trade? It cost you nothing, right? Like, financially, you're not paying very much for Randy Gregory at all, just a couple $100,000. You move from the 6th to the 7th round, so who cares about that? And best case scenario, you get another good member of your defensive line rotation and pass rush group to help you go on a Super Bowl run. Worst case scenario, you're out $800,000 and a 6th-round draft pick. Like, for the 49ers, this is an ultimate super high ceiling, really low floor type of trade, or really high floor, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no downside. For Denver, they get to just move on, and they get something for Randy Gregory. It's not a lot. It's a 6th-round draft pick, and Denver hasn't had a long success of nailing day 3 draft picks the last couple of years, but they got, Jonathan Cooper in round 7, so if they can find something similar in round 6 next year, that'll be a lot better than what they were getting on a Randy Gregory this year. But for the 49ers, they pick up at one time a good edge rusher who we haven't seen play at a high level in quite some time. For Denver, they get a bag of footballs, more or less. But what's your one-word reaction to the Randy Gregory era coming finally to a close after A little bit of, premature reporting came out. I'll kind of play victim to it because I trusted Schefter, Rapshi, and all those guys who said the Broncos were releasing Randy Gregory when, in fact, they were not releasing him just yet. They wanted to see if they could get a trade first. But what's your one-word reaction to this coming to a close? For me, it's probably like, hallelujah. And I don't know how to spell that, so someone else do it for me. But hallelujah indeed, because I'm excited to see what Cooper, Nik Bonitto, Baron Browning, those three guys can do. Right? Those are three players the Broncos drafted that are all on rookie contracts. They're getting Baron Browning back hopefully sometime soon. And those three guys, they might not be a number one edge rusher ever. They might not be people, they might not be guys that get 12 plus sacks in the season. But if you can get 7 to 9 sacks out of all three of those players, I'm going to like Denver's pass rush, at least for what they're working with in the near future. Now, let's run through the injury report really quickly before I let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your Friday. So, we have a couple guys that are practicing on the last day going into the Jets game here. Javonte Williams, very positive to see. Remember, he left the Bears game halfway through with the hip/quad injury, but Julian McLaughlin, I thought, balled out his spot. I wonder if you're going to see a snap reduction for Pookie and more snaps go to the UDFA, and that might balance out, and all of a sudden Williams is back to where he was his rookie year with Melvin Gordon. Justin Simmons, that's awesome to see. He hasn't played all that well this year, but hopefully when he comes back healthy, he'll be one of the better safeties in football, as he has been. Mike Purcell, Josie Jewell, that's great. PJ Locke, Delaren Turner-Yell's a special teamer. Let's not try and make him a strong safety. Frank Clark, Lloyd Cushenberry, and Baron Browning. So the Broncos hopefully are going to get healthy. I don't think you should expect all those guys to be ready to roll this Sunday against the Jets. After this Sunday, they got a short week. They play the Chiefs on Thursday Night Football. And I'm not going to lie, when I was watching the Bears and the Commanders game yesterday, and Chicago ends their 14-game losing streak, I was kind of thinking, when the Broncos losing streak to the Chiefs ends, is it going to be because they're the better team or because they just caught the Chiefs by surprise? I'm thinking the latter. So what better time to catch Kansas City by surprise than on a Thursday night in Arrowhead when everyone thinks, this is going to be an awful game. Broncos are going to get housed. It's going to be a 50-burger. Maybe Denver comes out and just goes, you know what? Why not us? Right? Everyone's already picked the Chiefs to win. I feel like we're good for one or two shocking Thursday Night Football results, and the Chiefs always lose a game in October they have no business losing. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself right now. We still have the Jets game coming up on Sunday, but I'm just going to put that out there. You guys let that simmer. Think about it the rest of the weekend. As for this game, Sean Payton spoke to the media today. He's probably speaking right now as I film still, but they asked him all about Nathaniel Hackett, and not going to lie, Sean Payton said some pretty bold statements about Hackett's time in Denver when he spoke to the media, or to that interview in August, and now he's got nothing to say, right? He's an absolute mime. He's not saying a word about this, and I feel like it's a little bit like, I don't want to say cowardly, but you talked a lot of smack before, and now you see the Broncos are 1-3. Maybe you shouldn't have either said those things in the first place, which at the time I kind of wanted to support Payton because I thought he was trying to motivate his players, but pretty quickly it came out as just, you look like a complete D-bag for that. So if you're going to go that route, maybe stick that route until the game is over, right? If you're going to talk a lot of smack and then you get some heat for it, stand by it, right? Don't just put your tail between your legs and hide away from those questions after you brought it on yourself by going to a Yahoo sports writer, I think it was, or a USA Today sports writer, one of those two, and you started that conversation unprompted, and then when you get asked questions about it, you're like, I don't want to talk about it. Then don't bring it up yourself. So we got a big game Sunday. Let me know who you got. Broncos, Jets, down below in the comment section. I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoons and the weekend, and we will see you guys on Sunday for our watch party.